Hello, I'm Rabbi Peter Rubinstein, the director of the Bronfman Center at the 92nd Street Y, and I welcome you to this first ever Holocaust Survivors Day. The stated purpose of this day was set forth by the originators of the idea. They were the Holocaust scholar Michael Berenbaum and the director of the Jewish Community Center of Krakow, Poland, Jonathan Ornstein. They propose that Holocaust survivors deserve a day of joy, a day of celebration, not a day to share with condemnation of the Nazis, but a day to celebrate their lives that they built in response to the Holocaust. For we know that we Jews have arisen from the ashes time and time again, and every time we emerge from despair, when all was dark and void, we vowed to create life. We dared to hope. We dedicated ourselves to creation and formed ourselves to be a bulwark against those who would steal life from us. And in keeping with that affirmation, we dare to proclaim, we will not surrender to the worst and darkest of our inclinations. Rather, we will bring light that shines through the goodness and the best of all humanity. And that's what this Holocaust Survivors Day is about. Today, we uphold and celebrate and commemorate those who didn't give in or give up, but gave with themselves the casting of hope among the seas and upon the dry land. Holocaust survivors embody the strength to live and to hope, not to forget, but to forge forward, carrying aloft the banner which has been part of our people throughout the ages. That we are here, that we together resolve to protect life, to save and be grateful for life. At its heart, this declaration is what is embodied in the Holocaust survivors we celebrate and are honoring today. These survivors represent the best in all of us, the best in the human spirit. And today especially, we are grateful to stand with and honor them. Thanks for joining us in this commemoration, and as well, I thank those who have participated in this celebration.
My name is Jerry Lindenstrauss. I'm a member of the Hyman Brown Senior Program at the 92nd Street Y. And I'm going to start with a prayer. May God, who blessed our ancestors, bless and protect and guide and continue to inspire the holy souls who survived the Holocaust. They who have lived through this darkness and succeeded in rebuilding their lives and restoring light to the world. Give us strength and means to support our survivors and our greatest heroes. May we teach their lessons of love and courage to the next generation.
Hi, Tova. Thank you for joining me today and agreeing to speak with us in regarding Survivors Day. Survivors Day is a day that was created to focus on the joy that survivors have rebuilt their life post-liberation. I'm going to ask you a few questions and you'll answer them. If you can just state your name and where you were born and your date of birth.
My name is Tova Friedman. I was born in Poland, a town called Tomaszów Mazowiecki in 1938.
Thank you, Tova. My first question to you is, and I'm going to read it off the sheet. What are the elements of your life post-liberation that allowed you to move on and build a new life after your experiences?
Well, one of the first thing was education. I was very big on going to school, going to college, getting a degree, and then marriage, which opened up a whole life. And of course, children. And now I have grandchildren. So family life being able to build a family life was extremely liberating.
Tova, what does it mean to be a survivor? Is being a survivor the biggest element that shapes your identity? What kind of responsibility do you feel like you carry?
Well, first of all, I am very grateful that I'm alive against all odds. And I feel the responsibility of memory to remember those that aren't here. I feel like I'm a representative, a witness of the 1.5 million children that aren't here with us. So that's what really shaped my life in many ways, memory and honoring the dead.
Imagine 100 years from now, we're all gone. And what are the 3 things that you would like people to know about survivors of the Holocaust?
Well, the first thing I want them to know is the resiliency of the human spirit, that it's possible to rebuild after a terrific tragedy. And another thing, the survivors have been very generous in many ways. So they contributed a lot, socially, emotionally, and financially. And most of us are in the helping professions. So we contributed a lot to the society. That's what I want people to know about the survivors.
When we talk about Survivors Day, do you have any idea of how you think we can celebrate that day?
I think we should celebrate by having family parties. You know, not just the survivors, but what the survivors created in any way. Talk about it, have fun. I think that's the thing to do. The revival of life, not the death, but the revival of life should be celebrated. And Judaism should be celebrated, because after all, most of us, we were killed because of being Jewish. So the joyfulness of being Jewish and family and part of helping to create a better society.
Thank you, Tova. Thank you for participating in this. Really appreciate you doing this. And I just want to say that it's been an honor and a pleasure to be able to continue the relationship that we've had and the organizations has had after the anniversary. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, my name is Sharon Howard. I work in the development department at the 92nd Street Y, and I am the descendant of Holocaust survivors. I will now read an excerpt from the Survivors Declaration. For us, who experienced the degradation of cruel racism and prejudice, who are condemned to death merely for being born Jews, we call on humankind to adopt principles of equality among men and nations. Tyrannical despotism, political and religious oppression, economic deprivation designed to destroy human dignity must be seen by the world community as grave sins that will not be tolerated. There is no real alternative to coexistence between people and nations. All must be done to resolve differences, not through the spilling of blood, but through discussion and mediation in the Middle East and the entire world. The memory of the Shoah is contentious and dark, exposing the ugly and naked face of consummate inhumanity that threatens the very nature and stature of civilization itself. We who staggered through the valley of death, only to see how our families, our communities, and our people were destroyed, did not descend into despondency and despair. Rather, we struggled to extract a message of meaning and renewed purpose for our people and for all people, namely, a message of humanity, of human decency, and of human dignity. The Holocaust, which established the standard for absolute evil, is the universal heritage of all civilized people. The lessons of the Holocaust must form the cultural code for education towards humane values, democracy, human rights, tolerance and patience, and opposition to racism and totalitarian ideologies.
Never say that the end has come for you, though heavy skies may be concealing days of blue, because the hour we have hungered for is near. Beneath our feet the earth shall tremble, we are here, because the hour we have hungered for is near. Beneath our feet the earth shall tremble, we are here. Så ned kemel as du gisten letzten Weg, wenn Himmelbleien verstehen wollte. Kommen wird noch unser Gebet schon. Es wird appointen uns der Trott, wir seien da. Kommen wird noch unser Gebet schon. Es wird appointen uns der Trott, wir seien da. Von einem Palmiland bis Weideland von Schnee. Wir kommen mit unser Pein, mit unser Weh. Und du Gefallenes, es spritzt für unser Blut. Spritzen wird tut unser Gute, unser Blut. Because the hour we have hungered for is near. Beneath our feet the earth shall tremble. We are here.